and welcome to the channel. Today, we are doing a technical deep dive on one of the most talked about stocks out there, NVDA. We've got a detailed technical report that we're going to break down for you piece by piece. We're going to decode the chart, check all the key indicators, and try to map out where it might be headed next. If you enjoyed this kind of analysis, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Now, let's get right into it. All right, so let's start with the conclusion, kind of like reading the last page of the book first. The final verdict from this report is that NVDA has a constructive technical profile. So what does that actually mean? Well, in simple terms, it means the chart is telling a really healthy story and the outlook is positive. But you know us, we don't just take that at face value. We need to know why. So let's dig into the evidence. And here's our game plan for how we're going to do it. We're going to follow a 5-step process. First, we'll look at the big picture trend. Then we'll zoom in and read the moving averages. After that, we'll check our indicator dashboard, get the vital signs. Then we'll try to forecast the next potential move. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the most likely scenarios. Okay, first up, the big picture. Before we can even begin to think about what's next, we have to understand the story the chart has been telling us. What's the overall momentum been like for the past few months? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Or is it just kind of stuck in the mud?
And while the story here is pretty clear, isn't it? It's been a steady climb, from just under 158 back in June, all the way to a peak over 183. But what I think is really telling is that dip in August. See how the price fell, but buyers immediately stepped in to prop it up above 170? That pattern of making higher highs and, more importantly, higher lows is literally the textbook definition of a healthy uptrend.
But here's the thing. Price is only half the story. The volume, that's where you find the conviction. Look at that massive spike during that rally in September. Over 500 million shares traded. Think of volume as the fuel in the rocket. When you see huge volume on a day the price goes up, it's a huge clue that the big institutional players, the big money, are behind the move. And that gives the trend a whole lot more credibility. Okay, so the trend looks solid on the surface. Now let's look a little deeper by checking the moving averages. These are amazing because they smooth out all the chaotic day-to-day price swings and give us a much clearer picture of the real underlying momentum. Are we just seeing a flash in the pan, or is there a deep, powerful current driving this stock? Now this is exactly what you want to see if you're bullish. The current price is just floating above almost all of its key averages. Think of these averages like different safety nets stacked below the price. The fact that we're trading above the 20-day, the 50-day, and the really long-term 200-day average, that tells you the bulls are firmly in control across short-term, medium-term, and long-term timeframes. It's a sign of a very powerful consensus. All right, now we get to my favorite part, the indicator dashboard. If you think of the price chart as our roadmap, then these technical indicators are like the instruments in a cockpit. They give us real-time readings on things like momentum, strength, and direction. So first up on our dashboard is this number right here, 53.29. What is this? Well, this is the current reading for a really popular momentum indicator called the Relative Strength Index, or RSI for short. The best way to think about the RSI is like the RPM gauge in your car. If it gets way up into the red zone, that's above 70, the engine is overbought, and it might need to cool off a bit. If it gets too low, below 30, it's oversold. So, at 53, NVIDIA is just cruising comfortably down the highway. This is actually a really good sign in an uptrend because it means the engine isn't overheating. There's plenty of room left to hit the gas.
Next, we're looking at the Arun indicator. This one is designed specifically to tell us how strong a trend is. And the result here is crystal clear. The Arun up is sitting at a powerful 84, while the Arun down is way down at a weak 40. It's like a tug of war where one team is pulling with everything they've got and the other team is barely even holding onto the rope. The bulls are just dominating right now. Okay, so we've confirmed the trend is strong. The indicators look solid. So where do we go from here? To figure that out, analysts map out these key price zones known as support and resistance.
And here they are, the key battle lines. Resistance levels up at 180, 185, and 190 are like price ceilings that the bulls need to smash through. And the support levels at 175 and 170 are the floors where buyers have historically shown up to defend the price. And look where we are right now. The stock is literally knocking on the door of that first big resistance level at 180. That really sets the stage for what happens next. So, based on the stock's typical daily movement, what analysts call the average true range, or ATR, The report is projecting a potential high near 183 and a low around 173. But here's the really crucial part. The predicted opening range is between 178 and 182. This literally places the price in a head-to-head showdown with that 180 resistance level, right from the opening bell. So let's put it all together now. We've got a strong uptrend, we've got supportive indicators, and we have a major price level directly ahead. So what are the most likely scenarios based on this entire technical profile? When you boil it all down, you really have three possible paths. Scenario 1 is a breakout, where the price just blows past 180 and keeps running. 2 is consolidation, where it might just trade sideways for a bit to catch its breath. Or 3, a pullback, which would be a quick dip to test that 175 support level before trying to climb again. Now, anything can happen in the market, but the weight of all the evidence we just went through really seems to favor that breakout scenario.
And this brings us to what I think is the single most powerful takeaway from this entire report. The technical picture is considered so strong that even if a pullback does happen, the analysis doesn't frame it as a danger sign. Instead, it's framed as a potential buying opportunity. The underlying message here is that the main uptrend is strong, it's intact, and it's expected to continue.
And so that leaves us with a big million-dollar question, doesn't it? With such a strong trend, positive indicators, and all this momentum, is a breakout past that 180 resistance level inevitable? Well, of course, nothing is ever guaranteed, but every piece of technical data we've just walked through suggests that the battle for that 180 level is the story to watch for NVDA right now.